My brother stole my fiancée 2 weeks before the wedding. A decade later, he came begging for my help. What I told him made him crumble. I was grilling burgers for my kids when my brother Jake showed up at my door. Haven't seen him in 10 years. Not since he ran off with my fiancée Sarah 2 weeks before our wedding. The last time I saw him, he was loading Sarah's suitcases into his BMW while I stood in my empty apartment, still wearing my tuxedo from the final fitting. The catering was already paid for. The church was booked. Wedding gifts sat unopened in boxes, waiting for a celebration that would never come. He looked rough now. Designer clothes wrinkled, eyes bloodshot, that arrogant smile completely gone. His once perfect hair was thinning, and I could smell alcohol on his breath even from the doorway. "Mark, I need to talk," he said, glancing at my wedding ring. "I heard you got married, had kids. Good for you." My wife Emma appeared behind me, our twin boys peeking around her legs. She'd heard the stories but never met the infamous brother. Emma knew about Sarah, about how I'd spiraled into depression for 2 years after they left, how I'd worked myself to exhaustion just to avoid going home to an empty apartment. She also knew how meeting her at that coffee shop had slowly brought me back to life. "Sarah left me," Jake blurted out, shifting nervously on our front porch. "Took half my business, my house, everything. She's with some younger guy now, a personal trainer if you can believe it, 25 years old." I kept flipping burgers, watching the fat sizzle and pop. Emma squeezed my shoulder gently, a silent reminder that she was there. "You remember how successful my real estate company got?" Jake continued, his voice getting more desperate. "Well, turns out Sarah had been planning her exit for months. Got herself added to all the accounts. Convinced me to put the house in both our names. Classic move, right?" He let out a bitter laugh that sounded more like a sob. "She cleaned me out the same way the same way we cleaned you out, I guess." I could feel Emma's eyes on me, probably wondering how I was handling seeing him again. Truth was, I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, just mild curiosity about what he wanted. "I'm broke, sleeping in my car," he admitted, running a hand through his greasy hair. "Been living off gas station coffee and convenience store sandwiches for 3 weeks. My credit cards are maxed out, bank accounts frozen, and my lawyer says I'm looking at bankruptcy." Through our kitchen window, I could see the boys' artwork covering our refrigerator, Tyler's crayon drawing of our family camping trip, Tommy's finger painting from school, a photo from Emma's birthday last month where we all had frosting on our faces. "I know what I did was wrong," Jake continued, voice cracking, "but you're my only family. Mom and Dad won't even take my calls after what happened. I need help, just a loan, or maybe I could stay in your garage for a few weeks while I get back on my feet." Emma stepped closer to me, and I could smell her vanilla perfume mixing with the scent of burgers on the grill. She'd been in the middle of helping the boys with their homework when Jake arrived. "I've been driving around for hours, working up the courage to knock," Jake said. "I know you have every right to slam the door in my face, but I'm desperate, Mark. I have nowhere else to go." "Dad, who's this?" my son Tyler interrupted, tugging my shirt. Tommy appeared beside him. I looked down at my boy, then at Emma, who was watching with curious eyes. Behind them, our house glowed warm with evening light. "Nobody important, buddy," I said, loud enough for Jake to hear. "Just someone who got lost." Jake's face crumpled as Tyler shrugged and ran back inside. "Mark, please, I'm desperate. I have nowhere else to go." I finally turned to face him. "You know what's funny? I should thank you. If you hadn't stolen Sarah, I never would have met Emma, never had these kids. You actually saved me from the biggest mistake of my life." His mouth fell open. "The best thing you ever did for me was showing me exactly who you are. Now get off my property." I watched him stumble back to his beat-up Honda, then went inside to finish dinner with my real family.